Okay, this is already off to a better start. Oh, hi guys. I'm really excited. So I actually filmed a true crime makeup story last week, and then I was editing it and I really hated the video, but I was like, I'm just gonna upload it. The first one back isn't gonna be the best. And then every time that I exported it, there was no sound. I tried everything, so I'm like, it's meant to be. The universe is telling me not to post this one, and let's do a different one. If you are new here, my name is Alexis Carnes. My channel is just full of kind of everything. My main things are like family content, and then these are like my fun videos that I do for myself, which is true crime and makeup, two of my biggest passions. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I just am a jack of all trades. Not to brag or anything, but we are back. We're gonna be doing something fun today. I learned last week that doing makeup that I have not done in a long time is probably not a good idea. So we're gonna go a little bit more simple today, a little bit more like dramatic, just like a chef's kiss look, as you will. Takes place between two hairdressers. This is the hairdresser murder. So we have two little characters in this story that are kind of the main of it. First, we have Kimberly Kessler. She is 34 years old and she has 3 kids. Now, she worked with Jolene Cummings. Jolene Cummings was a very good stylist. She was well known. Kimberly was newer to the salon that they worked in, but Jolene went missing on May 12th, 2018. She was leaving her job at Tangle's Salon, which is where both of these women worked at. The day after May 13th, it would have been Jolene's mother's birthday. It was also Mother's Day. That next day, May 13th, she was also supposed to meet with her ex-husband to get her children, and she did not show up. And then on May 14th is when she was reported missing. Now, people said that Jolene was just this vibrant, bubbly, like, well-loved person to everybody. And Jolene just absolutely loved being a mother to her children. So the police immediately start searching, like, all the wooded areas, and they kind of came up with nothing. And they, like, of course, put out as much information as they could. They didn't have a whole lot. And the reasoning that she was reported on May 14th and not 2 days, 1 day prior is because there has to be like a 24-hour period where you notice that they're missing to where they are missing. And pretty much all the cops knew is that she was last seen leaving her job at Tangle's. The last person to see her was her co-worker, Jennifer Seibert. That was who she had worked with that day at the Tangle's salon. The owner of Tangle's was talking with detectives, and while she was on the phone with Jennifer, the owner mentioned to her that detectives wanted to speak with her because she was the last person to have seen Jolene. At that time that they were on the phone, Jennifer was actually pulling like into the parking lot, and then when the owner had said like, hey, detectives want to talk to you about Jolene, she's gone missing, Jennifer literally like skirted out of the parking lot as quick as she possibly could, like, and then did not come back. Jennifer had only worked at the salon for like a month, so she was definitely the newbie of the salon. When she kind of skirted off, detectives obviously thought that this was very strange. So they went ahead and they looked at all her information. They were like, let's get her address, let's go see where she lives, see if we can knock on her door. This is when they found out that she had given them a fake address. And this is gonna get kind of confusing because they both have J names. Jolene is the lady missing, Jennifer is the weirdo right now. On May 16th, Jolene's vehicle was found. It was found in the Home Depot parking lot. The car showed that there was no fingerprints, there was no blood, and police reviewed like the security footage from the parking lot and found that it wasn't Jolene who dumped her car. It was someone else. It was clearly somebody else in the video, but they couldn't make out who it was, and the car was ditched around 1 a.m. The person that ditched her car was dressed in all black, so they weren't really noticeable or recognizable. So they ended up going in and they did an investigation on the entire salon. This is where it gets a little gory, so just to warn you a little bit. So they did the investigation on the salon and they found large amounts of blood that were, obviously they had been cleaned up, but it was found on the walls, the floors, the cabinets, and in the sink drain. clearly this person was trying to cover up whatever they did. And they also found a large amount of blood like on the mop head at the salon. Whoever this was did not do a good job at cleaning up the crime scene, because they clearly don't know how this shit works. And they used linoleum, no, I don't know how to say that. They used that to discover all of it, since it had been all like cleaned up and it wasn't visible to the eye. Jennifer was then found hiding 3 counties away, and she was just hiding at a truck stop. She was living in her car, just staying low, trying to not get caught. So they go and arrest Jennifer based on the surveillance video. They kind of looked it over and over again, and they could tell that it was her. They zoomed in and they clarified everything. They could tell it was her. So they charged her with Grand Theft Auto. And when they arrested her, Jennifer had these like weird like scratch marks on her face. And she said it was from a motorcycle accident, but they clearly were just like, they don't look like a motorcycle accident. Like, it literally looked like claws. So then after that, police kind of questioned her, whatever, and they tried to get more information out of her. They then held a press conference 2 days later, claiming that they don't believe that Jolene is alive, and that they're just kind of looking for a body at this point. So this is where the case gets kind of tricky. Obviously, you guys have probably figured out that Jennifer killed her. I think we're all there on the same page. If you're not, I'm spoiling it. But this is where the case takes a turn. Now, Jennifer doesn't exist. Jennifer never did exist. Jennifer's real name is Kimberley. Kimberly had stolen a fake social security card, and now remember, if you're confused, Jolene is the victim here. Jennifer / Kimberly, her real name is Kimberly, so that's what we'll be going by now, is the attacker. So when police found this out, it actually solved another mystery. Kimberly had actually been missing since 2012. However, when her mom made the report that she was missing in 2012, she said that she had last seen her July 4th, 2004. So then they found out that Kimberly had lived under 24 different names. She lived in 33 cities across 14 states. That's crazy. How do I don't know how you just disguise yourself for that long, but whatever. So they found out that blood in the salon, whatever. They're testing it, obviously, and it came back to both Jolene and Kimberly. It both matched both of their DNA, so they clearly case closed at this point, right? So they found DNA for both of them, like on a pair of boots, a pair of shears, and in a storage unit that Kimberly owned, or I guess rented. I guess you don't really own a storage unit, you rent it, whatever. And they also happened to find one of Jolene's fingernails in this blue bin that they caught Kimberly on video surveillance, like throwing things away in, and she was struggling to throw away 2 bags in this video surveillance. I can't freaking talk today, sorry guys. So then they go through her phone and they're like going through like her Google searches, you know, the things that they do. And they find that her search history has some like weird things in it. She had searched for coworker guilty of murder, missing person, body not found, no body, no crime, and she had looked up Jolene Cummings. So then they also found 6 wigs and various cell phones in the storage unit that she owned. And Kimberly admitted to wearing the wigs. That was how she like changed her identity, is she would just wear these different wigs whenever she was like, okay, I'm done being this person for today. Sadly, Jolene's body was never found, but Kimberly was just charged with first-degree murder due to like the evidence that was found on everything. So then after she was charged with that, there was more evidence to be found. They were just rolling in the evidence with this case. She didn't cover this up well at all. So they caught her at Walmart buying 30-gallon trash bags and an electric knife. You know, apparently that was gonna be easier for her. And then she also bought a large bottle of ammonia. So of course they want Kimberly to see a doctor because clearly she's not right. I mean, anybody who kills anybody is not right in the head, but she had stolen 24 identities, and so clearly she's not okay. So she saw doctors, and the judge ruled out at that point that she was incompetent to stand trial. Okay, so she was obviously incompetent to stand trial. One psychic said that she was suffering from delusion and like a personality disorder. He determined this in literally only 30 minutes of speaking with her. She didn't like that they said that she was incompetent because she thinks that she's clearly okay and she's normal, and this is just something everybody does apparently. So this past January, a judge ruled her competent, and Kim was grinning during the entire court session. She was so happy about it. Kim asked for a new lawyer at this time and said hers is related to Jolene, so it was like a conflict of interest. Her other lawyer says her public defender is not related to Jolene at all, and she just clearly is making this up. The judge denied her request and sent her for trial, which was this May, and I've looked it up and I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't know if it got postponed or it just hasn't been posted yet. When they said that she would have to go to trial, Kessler lost the big old grin that she had on her face, which she should. She freaking killed someone and will not tell them where the body is. Sicko. And she began screaming and yelling in the courtroom. So then they did find more evidence from the landfill as all of this was going on, and so they were just kind of like getting everything riled up before trial. And so she then refused to eat for 56 days while in jail and needed to be hospitalized for it, and she was on the verge of death, and she just tried to kill herself. She tried to kill herself because she knew that she was naughty and she shouldn't have done what she did. Yeah. And so they actually found out that she worked at Tony and Guy Sports Clips and Great Clips with Jennifer Seibert's license. So she was never actually licensed, had never been to school to be a cosmetologist. She just took Jennifer's stuff and ran with it. So I don't know. I'm assuming that she got life in prison, or maybe she's dead. I kind of looked it up and I didn't see anything. So that was the story of the killer hairdresser that wasn't even a real hairdresser. How dare she? How dare she, Denver? Can you say hi? But yeah, so that is the end of this story. Sorry, I feel like I wasn't very exciting in it. I'm trying to like get back in the swing of things. This one's already way better than the other one. I can tell you that right now. So sorry about not uploading last week. Again, that video was just garbage. So I'm gonna go be with my sick babe now, who has snot all over me. Yeah, so we will see you guys all in the next one. And as always, have a wonderful, beautiful day. All of my other social media is as well linked below. And we'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.